Have we reached the point where Britain's own car industry is saying enough is enough? Not because they don't believe in electric cars, but because their best, well-intentioned endeavours have only left them out of pocket and with frayed nerves. On a more real level, we're talking sacked employees, lost business, shut factories and alienated customers. They have finally come to the realization that actually, no, not finally, they actually probably knew this from the beginning, but it's true to say that they have finally gotten desperate enough to call out the government on its policy that has moved faster than car buyers are actually willing to accept. And according to industry's own trade body, unless something changes quickly, Britain risks losing investment, jobs and competitiveness. The warning comes from the Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders, the SMMT. Today we're going to look exactly at what they've said and explain it, why they're saying it, and we'll also talk about the ZEV mandate, what that means and what it's doing to the industry, and we'll talk about some other aspects that are also impacting the survivability of the UK car industry. We'll do all of that right after this.
A brown car guy. Brown car guy.
So Britain's automotive industry is calling for an urgent review of the government's Zero Emission Vehicle mandate, the ZEV mandate. To be fair, they're not asking to abolish it, they're not asking to cancel it, but to review it. The SMMT says that manufacturers are committed to electrification. In fact, they're all making electric cars pretty much now, pretty good ones as well. And with every new generation, they are of course getting better and better at it. But they believe that the targets for EV sales are now running way ahead of what ordinary buyers are actually willing to buy. And that distinction is incredibly important. What is the ZEV mandate? Well, let's strip away all the political language for a minute and think of it this way. Imagine that you own a sweet shop and the government tells you every year a bigger percentage of your sales of chocolate must be the sugar-free, cocoa-free, eco-friendly chocolate substitute. The problem is that the customers like real chocolate and that's what they want. But you are told that you must sell more fake chocolate, and if you don't, if you sell real chocolate, then for every extra bar of real chocolate that you sell, you'll get a fine, and a hefty one at that. That's basically what the ZEV mandate does with cars and electric cars. So each year manufacturers must ensure that a growing percentage of the cars that they sell are fully electric. Miss that target and potentially they face enormous penalties. It's that simple. That's why this is becoming a major problem, because think about it, if you add that £15,000 fine to the price of every car that you're selling above and beyond, and you pass it on to the consumer in a market where cars are already perceived to be overpriced, then you're going to lose customers and go bust pretty rapidly. And this is all because you thought you were doing the right thing and you were doing what the government told you to do. But you were forgetting that all the customer wanted was real chocolate. The SMMT says that customers aren't prepared to switch quickly enough, so manufacturers have had to throw extraordinary amounts of money at discounting cars. And according to their report, they claim that car makers have already spent over £12 billion subsidizing EV sales just to stimulate demand. That's not government grants, that's from the industry. Think about it, £12 billion. Money that they argue could otherwise have gone into developing new models or building new factories, put into research and development for the next generation of automotive tech, or creating more jobs. And jobs are important, right? Because they help people earn the money to buy the new cars that the manufacturers are trying to sell you in the first place. That's truly one hell of a vicious circle, right? Yet the targets keep getting harder, and the targets don't stand still. They increase. The report says that from January 2027, manufacturers will need battery electric cars to account for 38% of car sales, and then that jumps to 52% in 2028. Today, the market is still well below those levels, and that's why every single business leader surveyed said Britain is well behind where it needs to be, and almost 3/4 said that we are significantly behind.
Check out BrownCarGuy's latest novel, Silent Ruin, Action, adventure, spies, betrayal, romance, plus of course cool cars and car chases, it's got the lot. And don't forget How to Be an Automotive Content Creator, the ULEZ Files and Quantum Races. All BrownCarGuy's books are available on Amazon and Kindle Unlimited.
And it isn't only about EVs, the report actually goes much further. It warns that Britain faces a perfect storm. Potential new European trade rules are going to cause problems, with possible tariffs worth around £1.4 billion. The highest industrial electricity prices in Europe are another issue, and of course higher employment costs and higher manufacturing costs as a result of those higher energy prices. You put all of that together and Britain becomes a less attractive place to build cars. Who wants to build cars when you can't even export them to Europe easily? Like for example, China would love to do that, right? And so this is the problem. This is where you have an issue, and this is what is worrying the car industry. Because this isn't, as I've just mentioned, just one single issue. It isn't just the electric cars ZEV mandate issue, but it's a storm of problems, and they're all arriving together. Don't forget, the automotive sector is set to directly support 188,000 manufacturing jobs, nearly 200,000 jobs. And across the wider economy, we're talking more than 830,000 jobs, so close to 1 million jobs. And these are in manufacturing communities around Britain. The SMMT argues that getting this transition right isn't simply about selling more EVs, it's about protecting one of Britain's biggest manufacturing sectors while making the transition achievable. So listen, electric cars are already part of our current mobility solutions, and they're definitely part of the future. Let's just get over the whole EV hang-ups, right? Nobody disputes that they are here to stay and that they are viable. But the real question is whether governments can legislate demand. Can you force consumers to buy fake chocolate when they still want the real stuff? Manufacturers seem to think, or the answer is no. I don't think they seem to think, I think they know. But the government still believes that the answer is yes. And somewhere between those two positions lies the reality of the situation, because ultimately the customers decide, right? It's not politicians. Politicians are not buying the cars for you. You are buying the cars, so you decide what you want to buy. And if you don't want an EV, you're not going to buy it. Manufacturers can't tell you to do it. They can't force you to do it. Even us journalists and content creators can't. We can just review the cars. We can tell you about them. But you ultimately make that decision. You vote with your wallet.
If you found this video useful or entertaining, support the BrownCarGuy channel at these links, hit like, leave a comment, and make sure you're subscribing.
So what do we have here? Is the car industry just crying wolf? Or is this the warning that the government should have listened to months ago? Not just from the car industry, but hey, from people like me, let's be honest. A year ago, actually, 2 years ago. Should the ZEV mandate be revised? I mean, don't forget, in Europe, it's effectively already been scrapped, kinda. Instead of demanding that 100% of cars sold from 2035, yes, theirs was 5 years after our stricter deadline of 2030. But anyway, Europe now says that only 90% of cars sold after that need to be electric. And the rest, the 10%, that's indefinite for the foreseeable future. So effectively, we will have combustion engine cars well past 2035, according to Europe. But not here in the UK. And actually, I think that is a very sensible timescale, because if you think about that 10-15 year window from now, by then we'll either have perfectly viable EVs that have huge ranges and very fast charging, or we'll have moved into some other new clever mobility technology, whether that could be hydrogen or diamond nuclear batteries or the lithium crystals or a combination of all of the above, you know? But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. Should the ZEV mandate be revised? Should it be scrapped entirely? Or do we have to stick to it for the sake of whatever the perceived benefits to the environment are? Let me know your opinions in the comments below, and I'll catch you all in the next one.
Want your brand in front of genuine car enthusiasts and a loyal motoring audience? BrownCarGuy reaches over 40,000 YouTube subscribers and hundreds of thousands of passionate viewers with credible motoring news, views, and reviews. From supercars to classics, industry insight to amazing motoring stories, this is trusted automotive content with real engagement. So, want your logo here? Sponsor the channel today.